Welcome to your deep dive. Today we'll be taking a look at Kate Fagan's The Three Lives of Cate Kay.
Ooh.
It's a story about friendship, ambition, and secrets. And let me tell you, it's the kind of book that'll stick with you long after you finish.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those books that just stays with you. What hooked me right away was the mystery surrounding Kate Kay. You
Yeah.
know, she's like this wildly successful author. I
Right.
mean, global phenomenon, movies, the whole thing, but no one knows who she is.
Right. It's like so intriguing. And her books, the very last trilogy,
Yeah.
they're dystopian, right? What's
They're totally dystopian. Just picture like a world after like nuclear fallout, trying to rebuild. But Fagan really weaves in these intimate stories about survival, loss, and hope. And so you get caught up in the world building, but it's the characters that really like draw you in.
Okay, so we've got this anonymous author at the top of her game.
Right.
But the story doesn't just stay there, does it? We get pulled back into Kate's past, and that's where things get...
Complicated.
Yeah.
Exactly. We meet Kate as Annie, a teenager in small-town Pennsylvania, and that's where we meet Amanda, her best friend.
Okay.
And their friendship is like the heart of the story. This bond forged in shared dreams and a love for old movies.
It sounds like there's more to it than just like a typical coming-of-age friendship.
Mm-hmm.
What sets Annie and Amanda apart?
You get this feeling, right? Like there's this magnetic pull between them.
Yeah.
They dream of escaping their small town and making it big in Hollywood. Annie's the driven one, the ambitious dreamer. And Amanda's more grounded, you know? Finding joy in simple moments, but there's this shared intensity, this feeling that they need each other to truly shine.
And then this zipline accident happens. It's mentioned early on. And you just know something went terribly wrong.
Yes.
Amanda was left paralyzed, and Annie vanished. The hows and whys are slowly revealed as the story unfolds, and it makes you question everything.
Fagan does a brilliant job of keeping you in suspense.
Oh, sure.
We know something went wrong. Amanda was left paralyzed and Annie vanished. But the hows and the whys are slowly revealed as the story unfolds, and it makes you question everything you thought you knew about these characters.
So we've got Cate Kay living this glamorous life built on secrecy.
Right.
And then there's Annie, haunted by the past, grappling with guilt. Did you find yourself sympathizing with her even knowing she was keeping this huge secret?
It's complicated, right?
Yeah.
You see how trapped Annie feels, how she's both drawn to and terrified of the truth?
Right.
And what makes it even more fascinating is that we get to see the story from different perspectives.
Oh, really? So it's not just from Annie or Kate's point of view. We get inside other characters' heads, too.
We do. And this is where the real depth of the story comes in. We hear from Amanda trying to piece together her life after the accident, and from Sydney,
All right.
Annie's girlfriend from those early days. And each perspective adds another layer of complexity, like revealing hidden truths and challenging your assumptions as a reader. It's like putting together a puzzle where the pieces keep shifting.
That's one of the things that drew me to this book, the idea that truth is multifaceted, especially when it comes to memory and how we interpret events.
Yeah,
And it sounds like Fagan really explores that gray area.
absolutely. And then there's Ryan, who comes in as Cate Kay's love interest.
Right.
She's a successful actress, drawn to Kate's mysterious aura, but here's the twist. Ryan is actually friends with...
Hold on. Don't give away. I want to find out for myself.
Okay.
But it sounds like Ryan's connection to Kate's past adds another layer of tension,
It does.
maybe even irony to the
Yeah.
story.
Let's just say that Ryan's connection to Kate's past makes for some very charged moments, and it forces Kate to confront the consequences of her choices in a way she didn't see coming.
Yeah, like Fagan holds up this mirror to relationships, you know?
Yeah.
We see how one single event can just ripple outward, impact everyone, not just those directly involved.
You mentioned Amanda's mother, Patricia, earlier.
Right.
It sounds like her perspective adds a whole other dimension.
Yo, yeah.
What makes her so compelling? Patricia's dealing with a different kind of loss, you know?
Right.
It's not just her daughter being physically changed. There's this emotional distance that's opened up between them,
Right.
and she's just searching for answers,
Yeah.
trying to understand what happened and why Annie just disappeared.
It's heartbreaking, the guilt and grief she must carry.
Yeah.
And you wonder if Annie ever thought about the impact her actions would have, you know, on everyone,
Mm-hmm.
especially those closest to Amanda.
That's the thing about secrets, right?
Yeah.
They isolate us, but they also impact those around us, even if they don't know the full truth. And Patricia's character, I think, really highlights that.
It sounds like Fagan is really good at, like, weaving together these different perspectives to create a tapestry of emotions and motivations.
Oh, absolutely. And she uses these recurring motifs that connect the characters, like across time and distance. There's the Strand bookstore bag
Oh,
that
yeah.
Amanda gives Annie as a gift,
Right.
which symbolizes their shared love of books and their dreams of escaping their small town.
It's like a real representation of their connection,
Yeah.
something they both held on to, even as their lives went in different directions.
Exactly. And then there's the key lime pie, this
Right.
little detail,
Right.
but it pops up at different points in the story,
Oh, really?
always reminding us of the shared moments between Annie and Amanda.
I love how those little details can become so powerful, full of meaning and memory, almost like touchstones, anchoring the characters to their past.
And speaking of the past,
Yeah.
we also get glimpses into Annie's life before she became Cate Kay. We see her working at this quirky coffee shop, struggling to find her voice as a writer.
It's interesting to see her in that vulnerable state
Mm-hmm.
before the fame and fortune.
Right.
Do you think, why did she disappear? To reinvent herself as Cate Kay? Was it all ambition, or was there something more?
I think it's more nuanced than just fame, you know?
Yeah.
There's definitely some guilt there, pushing her to create a new identity, almost like she's running from her past. But it's also a way for her to process her trauma, to find a voice for her pain.
And that ties back to the power of storytelling. It can be a way to make sense of our experiences, even the bad ones.
There's a scene where Annie stumbles upon a high school theater production of Twelfth Night,
Okay.
and it brings back all these memories of Amanda and their dreams of performing. It's like this light bulb moment, and you see the seeds of the very last being planted right then and there.
So she's taking these pieces of her past, these shared experiences with Amanda, and weaving them into fiction.
But it's not just escaping the past, is it?
Right.
It's also about longing, a desire to reconnect with what she's lost.
And that brings us to forgiveness. Is there any chance of reconciliation between Annie and Amanda after all that's happened?
That's the question that kept me reading. I won't spoil anything, but Fagan explores forgiveness in such a beautiful, nuanced way.
I have to ask, what did you think of the ending? Did it leave you satisfied?
It's not like a neat and tidy resolution, which I appreciated. It felt real. It leaves you with hope, but also with a feeling that some wounds never fully heal. And that's what makes it so powerful.
So, The Three Lives of Cate Kay, it sounds like more than just a page-turner.
Oh, yeah.
It makes you think about, like, the choices we make, the secrets we keep, and how they affect us and the people around us.
Definitely. It's one of those books that just sparks so many questions.
Yeah.
Like, you want to talk about it, figure out why the characters did what they did, and maybe even think about your own life in a new way.
What about Fagan's writing? Was it, like, engaging?
Her writing it's both lyrical and sharp.
Yeah.
She has this way of capturing emotion, especially the complexities of female friendship.
Okay.
You feel like you're right there with them, experiencing everything they do.
So she really gets into their heads, their vulnerabilities and ambitions.
Oh, absolutely. And the way the story jumps back and forth in time keeps you hooked. You're always putting the pieces together.
Yeah.
It's a story that stays with you.
For our listener who hasn't read it yet,
Right.
what makes The Three Lives of Cate Kay a must-read?
It's a story about second chances, about friendship and finding redemption even after making huge mistakes. It reminds you that sometimes the most important journeys are the ones we take inside ourselves.
Wow. I couldn't have said it better myself. This has been such a great deep dive.
Really has.
I don't know about you, but this book is going straight to the top of my reading list.
Mine too. I think we'll be talking about this one for a while.
And to our listeners, we hope this deep dive has made you curious. We encourage you to check out The Three Lives of Cate Kay and go on your own journey with this incredible book.